Can you hear me? Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Can't hear you yet. I could maybe.
But we should have had 98 points on the scoreboard.
Yep, I gotcha.
Okay,
I didn't hear
I don't know. I was recording before, but I'm hoping half of my meeting is not.
Sorry about. Yeah, sometimes reboot's the way to go. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, it could have been partially me too. I don't know.
Oh well. User error for everybody.
That's what happens when we take a meeting off.
That's
I know.
okay. We're fine.
Well, you can count on me to use remote. Make sure you're, blow the dust out of this thing every once in a while. So thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Christina and mayor and council members, Happy New Year, right? Something like that. So, I've got the sale day report for you on council packets, and then there's a proposal form from the bank that gave us the low bid, and then I think there's a resolution that you would need to consider approving if you like what you see. That would get the job done tonight as far as the votes. So I do want to just go through the sale day report, which is pretty easy read. So we did have a pre-sale on December 9th, and then we packaged this bond issue up. And by the way, it's for kind of to fill the price gap for, your new fire truck. That's going to take a long time to be built, right? I can't believe it. Anyway, so this is a small amount to kind of fill that gap. And then we did package this bond up over the holidays. And then on Friday, we did receive 3 bids, 3 bank bids. And if you take a look at how this played out, it was Citizen State Bank of Roseau. Andy out there gave us a really good bid of 4.5%. Huntington Bank out of Milwaukee, they're at 4.78. and Security Bank out of Winstead was 5.2. So Citizens Bank was at 4.5, which is like 0.75% less than the pre-sale estimate. So, that saved us a bunch of money there. Because, the fire contract revenues are expected to pay this bond issue off, I believe. So it's looking even a little bit better than it did before. And also you had an equipment bond we did early or later in 2024. It's 2025 now, right? You came in much better. I think that low bid was at 4.83 from Huntington at that time. That might have been at the end of 24, I can't remember, but so rates have gone down a little bit, and that's great. And then the difference between the low and the high bid is almost $18,000 in interest costs. So it does pay to send this out and see who wants to come and play. We sent it out to a whole host of banks in and around Minnesota, and then I think your local banks too. So these are the three we got. So, we never know who's going to like what they see here, or who's got the capacity to buy the bond. And it is going to be a loan, with the bank up there in Roseau. We call it a bond or certificate or whatever you want to call it. So, and it is callable or prepayable on any day without penalty too. So lots of flexibility there as well. And then you folks, staff is just going to act as paying agent, or they'll just line up the bond payments up with the bank and kind of pay it that way too. So no fees coming out for that. And then I've got the final bond payments attached here too as well. So it's fixed rate financing. First interest payment is coming from the bond proceeds, and then it gets paid after that next year, basically through the fire contract revenues. So there's going to be a tax levy attached to this as far as getting filed with the county, but you can cancel, reduce, however you like every year, that levy basically to substitute for the fire contract revenues. So I think that about does it. Again, there's the bid tabulation, the bond payment schedule is all fixed. I did put a bond buyer index graph there just to kind of show you where the trend in interest rates are going. So it just kind of swiggles back and forth a little bit, depending on what time of day it is now. But no big high swings, no big low swings. So you're in a good spot here, basically. Approving this bond. We don't see any real fluctuations coming in the future, so it's pretty steady from here on out. And then again, the bond resolution is there for you guys to take a look at and approve. So yeah, it's you never know what you're going to get over the holidays. So we kind of bugged everybody as much as we could, so they paid attention to what we needed to get done here tonight. So appreciate you guys sticking with us here, and I think we got a good result for you. So I'll yield to you folks if you have any questions for me.
I do not have any questions personally.
I have a question on the resolution. Did we produce that, or did you provide that, Todd?
Taft produced it, and I don't have final, so I have a report that has to be signed at a later date. Taft didn't send me the final today. I don't know where Dan was, but I have our resolution and then the final paperwork to draft. So as long as it gets approved, I can get the signature and get it out to Taft within the next couple of days. I'll be fine.
Yeah, and my presentation pretty much fills it in for you, the sale day report in conjunction with the resolution. It's got a few blanks in it, which is basically the results of the bond sale. So yeah, we'll get that all ship shape for you if you want to approve, and then we'll get the signatures, but it will close on January 23rd here. So I know we're kind of on a hurry up offense to get this done. So I know Taft will get that over to Christina.
Yeah, just missing a couple of inputs from the bidder that's getting awarded tonight in the resolution, and how that all calls into that. Those couple of tables are what's missing from.
Yep.
Taft.
Well, my question was, this may be in the, I must be missing something department, because I'm not an accountant, but on like page 2 of the resolution, it says in capital letters, the principal amount is $180,000, and then in the paragraph below, it says the principal amount's $363,000, so. That didn't.
Yeah, it should be 363,000, so
Yeah.
might be a typo.
Well, in words, it says $180,000.
Yeah, that's why it was a draft.
Okay.
Yep.
Because it's in two things. It's in the first attachment, which is the resolution, and then the goal equipment certificate.
Okay.
Reproduces that resolution and page 13. It's the same thing, 180,000.
Well, I'm gonna give Mary some crap.
I know, right? Jeez, these
On
attorneys.
it usually,
I was
she must
hoping it
have
was-
the interns working over the holidays.
Oh my God. I mean, lucky I was paying attention, and got you what you needed here tonight. Jeepers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let Mary know, to get that all fixed up for you too, so.
I still even have it marked as a draft.
I was hoping my accounting understanding was not so poor that
No.
that was correct, and I didn't.
No, you got it. It's 363. Yeah, you can't say it much different than that, so, yeah.
No. Big difference. That's funny.
Yep. So my sale day report is a nice final document for you, so.
Yeah. The draft and the one that I have that has to go back to Taft are different, so. I'll have all the paperwork right by the time it goes back to the right place.
Oh, yeah.
So then what we need to do tonight then is approve the resolution.
You need to approve the proposal form for Citizen Bank. That needs to be one motion, and then you need to approve the resolution, which would be a second motion, and then. For third and finally, I have the final invoice from McQueen Equipment. That we have to discuss because they want payment of $744,000 prior to the closing of this Go certificate. Of which we have all but like $400 in the special equipment fund after the fire reliefs donation from 2024, so that's
All right.
that's a fourth item of this project, so.
Then let's, I'll move to approve proposal form for Citizen State Bank of Proton.
Okay.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries.
I'll need approval of resolution 2505.
Should we say revised as we discussed?
Well, and the language in the agenda should cover it, Ron, because it is for the 363.
Okay.
I guess if you want, you can include that amount in your,
Yeah,
Motion.
if you read the
Okay.
title of the resolution, then that will support your motion.
Okay, I move we approve the resolution 2025-5, provided for the sale of $363,000 of general obligation equipment certificate, series 2025A.
motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries.
And then, as I stated earlier, Max McQueen provided us an invoice. I will be wiring this money this week. Not doing a paper check for $750,000. To McQueen, and then when the bond closes and the funds are secured at the city, the remaining will be paid. I did confirm with Patrick from McQueen. There will not be a % increase on February 1. So we are making the timeline just perfect. We'll have everything paid off by the January 30th. So as I stated just a little bit ago, After the fire relief's 2024 donation to the special equipment fund, that balance is at $740,436 in the checking. And then
Correct.
there is an amount in, all right, too many pages. We have $8,563 in the Deerwood First Preferred Savings. So between those two entities, we'll have enough to cover the invoice that's in front of you. So I need approval of that, and then the pay remainder will get paid when the bond is closed.
Okay.
Questions? There's one.
No, I
Okay,
got it.
you guys follow me? I know where I'm taking the money from. I just need approval of the invoice.
You know where you're taking the money from. You
I
just
know
need
where you're
approval to
taking the
pay it.
money from.
Can I get a motion on that then?
Approve the McQueen equipment invoice.
I'll second that. Any discussion on that? All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries.
Great. Thanks so much. Always nice working with you folks.
Thank you, Todd.
Thanks, Todd.
Yep.
Big bucks. Bucks millions. The last show. Obviously, self-report, I don't have one. I wasn't positive that Misty was going to come tonight, so I didn't delete her out the agenda yet.
And it's kind of slow. On to you, Christina, here, or resolutions
All right,
galore here.
so the first resolution I need discussed and approved is the resolution for annual appointments and designations for 25. As the document sits in front of council right now, I have, per the discussion at the last meeting, moved Councilor Hamilton into vice mayor for the 25 year. So I'm assuming since she's not here, we're still gonna do it like that.
She really doesn't have much room to.
Well-
No.
I
We're a quorum, so it's.
I also updated the city assessors with Caleb Bessler. I had Kurt Meyer on one of these at one point. I took him off. And it was probably I want to say it was like public safety or the public works committee, and I know that Kurt's not super active right now, so I just removed him. And then on the revolving loan fund committee, I updated the HRDC's center rep with Tony Claris.
Okay.
So I know that council discussed maybe or maybe not changing who's sitting or residing in these committees. But this is up for discussion today.
It would be if you're comfortable with the committee assignments you have. I see no need to change. Unless there's something somebody wants to just trade, you know, you're not gonna get less.
I'm good with the ones I'm on.
Comfy here.
And Lori had already mentioned she wanted to stay on kitchens anyway, so.
Yeah, I think she's doing good there.
Then let's approve this.
Move to approve resolution 2025-01, the resolution of annual appointments and designations.
No second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye, opposed? Hearing none, motion carries.
And then item B next is resolution 2502. This is acknowledging a donation from the fire relief. The funding, as I stated earlier, has already been placed into the appropriate fund.
Correct.
Formal approval of the donation.
What the heck? I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2025-02, a donation from the Blackduck Fire Relief. Any discussion on this? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
You didn't recognize this is almost 20,000 more than what Terry had mentioned at the work session.
And it does not go without,
No,
the same.
items. Sorry.
Motion carries.
Oh, sorry. Pushing everything forward. Item C is resolution 2025-04. Just to note, there is a gap in my sequence. 03 would have been the resolution approving Garrett Hansen's beginning of his conveyance. I counseled with Garrett a couple of weeks ago, right after Christmas. His ownership of the property is still in limbo with the family's attorneys. And as the language states, he must be the owner of the property. And I advised him that we just hold off and he was more comfortable with that. So hopefully by February, resolution will be in front of you guys shortly.
Well, let's make sure we do it the right way.
Correct. So this is approving chamber bingo for the 2025
Thank you
Year.
for doing that, Christina.
page asked. It looks like we're doing everything at the liquor store, even in August. Okay, fabulous.
Resolution 2025-04, exclude the bingo license for Chamber of Commerce.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And motion carries.
Item D is our annual City of Blackduck conflict of interest and code of ethics policy for elected officials, board members, commissions, and committees. I typically have this approved at the beginning of each year, so I will.
Who wants this one?
You said updated January 6th. Is there any changes from the?
No, actually, nothing.
Okay.
No. It seems to be working quite well since we've done this. I'm very pleased
We did
that
have,
we all hold ourselves to a standard.
we had little issues,
That's why we have this.
and now we don't.
Everybody be responsible for ourselves.
Move to approve the City of Blackduck's conflict of interest and code of ethics policy for elected officials, and members of the boards, commissions, and committees.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries.
So here's a new one for you.
I saw that,
You like this?
joint powers agreement.
So.
This is,
Working with Melissa Wheatley, and understanding, you know, where our role is as a city, having the library facility. Apparently, there's been a joint powers agreement out there. I cannot find one that is approved by the city anywhere in my records. So I feel it's fitting at this point to have this board adopt and agree to this, and then I will send a formal authorized copy to Melissa.
It does lay out what's what.
It does, and interestingly enough, the only reason this came out was it had no reason, has absolutely no language in here, but it definitely is a good stepping stone.
Yeah. So that's what we'll call it.
But they provided this, right?
KRLS did, yes,
Yeah.
and every branch that is part of the system has adopted this. Yeah,
Now,
I just,
pages-
I have no idea if Blackduck has approved one since this document has come out.
Since I have been on the council,
In the 11 years I've been here, I've never seen it.
so
Says 2010.
I've been here since 14 and I still can't find one.
Okay.
Yeah, so might as well start fresh.
we'll correct some things maybe that, that should be done.
Well, and it's just, I like having standard operating procedures. I like having things to refer back to. Policies are there for a reason. Same with the joint powers agreement.
I'm for it. Don, you wanna make this motion?
Yeah, we should.
Just motion to
Motion to approve the
Approve the-
County.
yeah.
Regional Library System Joint Powers Agreement
with the city. What the-
with the city of Blackduck.
There you go.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
I,
Opposed? Have an agreement.
A couple of dates in January to point out, the planning commission will be back in session this month on January 15th at 2 p.m. In observance of Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, the city office will be closed on January 20th, including the DMV. On January 27th, we'll have our work session. That's a week later because of the holiday. And then February 10th is the February council meeting. So that gives us another week in between those. But that's okay. We've got a lot of year-end audit
Oh,
stuff to prepare for in the next 2.5 weeks, so
January's a mess for
pretty much everybody.
pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
It's,
is there a reason we couldn't have the work session on Tuesday following all of it?
We could have, however, I have already committed to working with the auditors that day on a pre-audit day, and I am not gonna
just want to deal with that.
have the work
stuff.
session on top of it.
No, that's fine. I was
Yeah.
just wondering if we're statutory prohibited from having any day other than Monday.
Yeah.
Not when it comes to work sessions, only our council meetings.
And then my other question was, I haven't heard anything, so I assume there's no change of hours or employee work schedules for Thursday, January 9th. Which is a National Day morning, federal holiday.
Nothing has come down across my desk, but January 9th is a day that we are closed.
I just asked because it's a federal offices are closed, as I understand it. I believe it's a holiday for the post office.
Yeah, it's,
But, and we're not a federal office, so I don't think it's surprising we're not. I'm just asking
Right.
for purpose of clarification.
No.
Business as usual.
okay.
Otherwise, my department's been busy with year end and We did quite a bit of D&B off business at the end of the year. As you can see, they just been ordering office supplies for the year, so got plenty of paper, shouldn't run out of paper this year for the whole city. But yeah, things have been good here in this office, so I have a whole lot to report from my desk.
We all received an email, if you're finished, Christina. We all received that email from Scott Peterson. Okay. To address the BBC, do we want to? And as he stated in the email, that Christina shouldn't be the one necessarily to report all things to us. How do you guys feel about maybe even a rotating schedule?
I was gonna try to go to this one, but I get to work. I'm still gonna try to get off work.
And this is just an idea, I'm just throwing it out there, you can think, take a few notes, see what's going on. It's been a while since I've been to one, but there was quite a few changes that happened. And now I think they got things fairly well squared away. With Scott being there and being there for a few months now, I don't know.
Quite a few years ago, I used to include the development course minutes into the city council packet, but to impart that they are a completely separate entity and not part of the committee that has been approved by the city ordinance. It's not something I need to share, so
Right.
I've kept that communication out.
It's their, they are in themselves a business, an organization,
Right.
but it doesn't necessarily,
It's like the chamber.
while their stuff is public, it doesn't need to be reported.
Mhm.
It's not something, but it is something I think that we should do better.
How about that, so line ourselves somewhat with them.
I mean, we don't need all four of us showing up, 5 of us showing up to the meeting, is what I'm saying, so. If somebody has time, wants to go. Just reminding everyone that
The meeting's always the second Wednesday, like every month at 11 a.m. And the golf course is being rented and paid for by the BBC to use the space to hold those meetings. So if any council members interested, just give Scott a heads up and let him know.
said what I wanted to say.
Nothing really else.
Well, then you and I were on the same page now.
Would there be any reason to, or not to suggest, the minutes would be emailed to each councilman?
They could,
No,
Yep.
to the distribution?
Yeah.
I've never seen. it.
No.
So,
they can most certainly be added. I can add them. All the council members to the invite, the calendar invite. That makes,
Mhm.
because I usually add the agenda and the minutes from the previous month's meeting to that invite. That way, anybody that might know
But,
if they
you know,
attend will be accessible to that.
they're an organization trying to do something for benefit of the community, so I do believe it's important.
Yeah, I don't know if we need to be, not into the invite, but if that's the only way to get the minutes or the best way. Just for our information.
Okay.
All right. And yeah, please. Send the ones you can.
So I have one more thing, and I didn't put it on the agenda only because I wasn't sure if I was gonna make the deadline. But, Melissa Wheatley, Kelly Hanks and myself did get, a grant request in to the Minnesota Board of Education that put out a multi-use, basically public room use, grant option out there to see if we can help get additional funding for the private meeting space that's gonna get put into the library. The one that I put in was a request for $50,000 to help offset the costs of the local option sales tax and the KRLS money. So that could take up to almost till fall before we hear anything of 25 and till calendar year 26 to use the money. If so awarded. So we'll see. There's quite a bit of money out there, and it kind of stemmed from the whole COVID time, where there's a lot of community rooms in need of telehealth spaces for interviews, things like of that nature, and what we're trying to do in the existing facility aligns with that. So the grant actually dropped right before Thanksgiving, and it was due on Friday. We did not have 2 months to put this together, so we worked independently and together the month of December and part of November to get this done. We'll see some of that money. Our greater, our Northwest region has been awarded from the Board of Education like $2.3 million of, I want to say it was 6. Yeah, for the whole state, but only Greater Minnesota has, a pocket of that. And then it was separated out by region of Greater Minnesota, so we'll see if that's something. Melissa said that, Brainerd Public Library is was applying at the same time.
No.
Especially the mics here.
The opioid press release, I assume everyone read that. Good. All right. Who wants to make that motion?
Motion to adjourn. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We stand adjourned. Thank you.